They circle the wagons. I call them the Praetorian Guard. To defend this man, to protect this man. The whole country sees it. 73% of the country says he's too old to run. It's really not that he's too old to run, he's too insane to run. We love Sky News Australia here, I certainly do. They're just fantastic. And they kind of do this little ditty, and I'll call it that, License to Fall. It's about Joe Biden. They mock him in a sort of James Bond parody. Check this out. Go.
In recent days, we've had a glimpse into the weekend at Bernie's routine that the Biden White House has been running with. We really don't know who is calling the shot, who is the most powerful man in the world, who is commander-in-chief, because it ain't this guy.
And I see, I'm just following my orders here.
Let me just stop. This is on the world scene. Friend and foe are watching this. They know he's got dementia. They know he's not with it. They know he's not running the country. As I've said before, I think there's this Politburo of Sanders, Obama people who are running the country. Some we know, some we don't know. They're making these decisions. They're extraordinarily dangerous and radical decisions that are undermining the country. He's signing off on them. But that said, a man who is incapable of keeping track of his notes for a few minutes at a so-called press conference is not capable of running this country. Our media know it. The Democrat Party knows it. His wife knows it. And yet they keep playing this game that he's underestimated. Well, and he's old, but he's really with it. And the Democrats say, I've talked to him. He's really good. Folks, this is what the 25th Amendment was set to do, and nobody even talks about it, to remove a guy like this. But it takes a vice president and a cabinet. And it takes both houses of Congress. Well, it's not going to happen. Go.
He's just following orders, folks. That was the president on Sunday in Vietnam during a press conference. And as always, the president has a cheat sheet with the questions he's likely to be asked and the names of those likely to ask it. And he still manages to stuff it up. And nowadays, his staff don't even let him finish.
Here he is being mocked in Australia. Imagine what they're doing in China and Russia and Iran and Cuba and all these other places. And it's not funny, because this can provoke a war. Now's the time to act. The commander-in-chief is a certifiable imbecile. And we go along with this like it's perfectly okay and so forth, because the Democrats are getting all their agenda instituted through what I believe is this shadowy Politburo that's going on. It's just unbelievable. Go ahead.
Before they abruptly end a press conference. Have a look at this.
Had access to change it, had access. It wasn't confrontational at all. He came up to me and said,
Thank you, everybody. This ends the press conference. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Somebody's literally playing the piano here to scoot him out. So somebody was directed to play the piano to end this and get him the hell off the stage. And by the way, that's why he was in Alaska on 9/11 and not in New York, not in central Pennsylvania, not at the Pentagon. Can you imagine what he would have said or might have said? Even when he was in Alaska, he talked about how he was at Ground Zero the day after 9/11. C-SPAN shows him on the floor of the Senate the day after 9/11 giving a speech. He may have confused that with 9/20, when a number of members of Congress went to Ground Zero, but it wasn't the day after, that's for sure. Go.
Are you bringing the U.S. strategic interests above the rights here in Vietnam?
Joe Biden is the oldest US president, so why is he being treated like a baby? Peter Ducey asked that salient question, and Karine Jean-Pierre really didn't have a good answer.
President Biden is the oldest president in US history. Why does White House staff treat him like a baby?
No one treats the President of the United States, the Commander-in-Chief, like a baby.
So there's this book that says
That's ridiculous.
When staff
It's a ridiculous
back
claim.
what sounded like a call for regime change in Russia, the president, quote, rather than owning his failure, he fumed to friends about how he was treated like a toddler. Was John Kennedy ever babied like that?
So look, I'll say this. There's going to be always a range of books that are about every administration, as you know.
You have to laugh, don't you? Yes, there are a range of books on any administration, and let's hope there's also a movie. With this trailer, the talented Maze has put together this droll compilation of President Biden as Agent 00 in License to Fall.
Where the hell are we? What are we doing?
It's sad. They are laughing at us, boy. Did you ever think you'd see the day? But notice there's an entire ruling class establishment in Washington and New York and elsewhere. They circle the wagons. I call them the Praetorian Guard. To defend this man, to protect this man. The whole country sees it. 73% of the country says he's too old to run. It's really not that he's too old to run, he's too insane to run. You know, if he were 90 years old and he was really sharp as hell, got it. Okay, and he could stay awake more than 3 hours, I got it. But he's none of those things. And so that's the problem. Now, by the way, 73% of the people think Mitch McConnell needs to go. Why? Because Mitch likes to stare at the stars for 35 seconds in a row, but the problem is inside there are no stars. Let's check this out. We have a clock for 35 seconds. This is what happened last time. Just watch. And I'm just sitting here. Ready? Go. You hit it yet? Nope. Mitch, come with me, Mitch. You okay, Mitch? Now that's the most boring TV you've ever seen, 35 seconds. At the press conference before his last press conference, 35 seconds, staring into oblivion. His aide, a lady, sort of grabbed his elbow to take him, but he wouldn't move. Just looking and looking. And almost within minutes, when, exit stage left, the doctor says he's perfectly fine. He's perfectly fine. There's no problem. That guy ought to have his license pulled.
Want to see more Mark Levin? Go to levintv.com and subscribe now.